What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Mahul. We do some pretty cool car stuff. If you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and smash subscribe button. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers, and every little thing helps. If you guys are also new to the channel and aren't aware, we're doing an LS swap in a BMW E46. So in our previous video, which is going to be down in the description, so we did Porsche Brembos on the BMW E46, which is fascinating, which is cool. It's a lot cheaper and a lot better too. Very, very cost effective. So we got them in the front, and then we got them in the rear. So that's what I was taking care of. So now, in order to do next is the headers. One thing I wanted to do is, I was going to use the truck manifolds and flip them upside down because I am using a truck motor. So instead of that, we actually picked up something else. So we actually picked up the Flowtech headers, which are right over here, performance headers. I'm actually very curious about these, and I think these will fit. Go ahead and open these and do a full unbox. And yes, I actually opened it in front of you guys, not opening before. So that, I picked up a couple of the bolts that we need for the headers and for a starter. That way they can do that. So once we get this going, we're gonna be mounting up the accessory kit that we got from Chevy. We're gonna be throwing it up on here, so that way we can actually see where everything is and make the adjustments to what we need to do. So for the headers, we're doing up and forward, so that way it should give us enough clearance for everything. Especially like what I was trying to do is for the headers for the truck manifolds would be very close to this, and I don't want that. So again, for everyone who's doing the LS swap inside their E46, I'm gonna put these headers down below in the description just to make sure, as long as they fit, to be honest. As long as they fit and does what I needed to do, we should be golden. So this was honestly 200 bucks for these headers, and they're from Summit Racing. Comes with the header gasket as well. And the beauty of it, it already has the V-bands already on them. So I don't have to weld V-bands on the truck manifolds. Here's the thing. They fit here, but the ABS unit is in the way. So we're gonna be doing ABS delete. Even though the reason why we're doing the ABS delete is because we're doing now less inside of here, even though the ABS is not gonna function. The headers do fit, which is great. Headers fit with plenty of clearance on both sides, so we should be golden there. So Jay's on his way. He's gonna be explaining what and how the ABS unit is gonna be functioning, and along with that. So stay tuned. He'll be here shortly. Oh, look at who's here.
What's up?
So, Jay's over here. He's going to be helping us out with explaining to us about how this ABS module is going to work. So, right now what he's doing...
How it's going to work or how it's not going to work because it gets in the way, and how we're going to avoid this whole entire situation.
Yeah, pretty much we're going to explain that. So, we were going to use the truck manifolds, but we're not going to use the truck manifolds because we're going to be using the Flowtech headers because they're gonna flow better, you know. So we wanted, since we're running boost, we wanted the flow to be a lot better. But when putting the new headers in, they're hitting the ABS unit, like I mentioned to you. So what's cool is Chase Bays, I'm gonna link them down in the description. They actually do make an ABS delete kit for this. So you're gonna get new braided hose for the front, and then it's like an adapter that to go onto the rears. That will go to the brake line, then to the caliper. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually be removing the ABS units on the E46. So is removing the ABS unit good or bad?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
So since we're tracking the car, so the cool part is though, like how we talked about, the Chase Base actually has a proportioning valve. So explain that.
So the proportioning valve it changes the parameters of how much braking bias you want. Within 100%. So if you want 100% up front and nothing in the rear, that's usually good for a drift application if you have a hydro brake. In this case, since we're deleting the ABS unit, we have fluid going in and nowhere to go. So what we're gonna do is direct it front and rear, but we don't want it, we want our bias to change however we need it. So what we're gonna do is put it in, and that's gonna go, we can change it around from like 100% to 0, like I said before, or 60% up front and 40 in the rear, depending on our braking needs, how the driver is, how he feels like driving that day, and how the car wants to handle. So it's all about adjustability and tuning the brakes. Okay, so there's absolutely nothing on the E46 forums or pages or wherever on doing the ABS delete, because
a lot of people don't want to delete the ABS on an E46. It's mainly because it's going to affect your speedometer, and of course you kind of need that and not trying to get a ticket. So since we're doing the swap, it doesn't really matter for us in this case. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that ABS unit.
Mostly because there's a big fat LS in the way.
Yeah.
So, like Mel was saying, their Flowtech header fits perfectly fine over here.
Which are those beautiful puppies right there.
But on this end, we're actually hitting our ABS unit right over there. But we're gonna show you kind of like the theory of how an ABS delete kind of works. So follow me.
All right.
Okay, they don't need to see any of this. They don't need to see any of this. We're gonna erase this just to make life easier again to kind of explain things.
Engineering explained, aka Jay.
No. This is mechanic.
Mechanic.
Indian mechanic here on YouTube.
New channel coming soon.
So what we've got here is our brake master cylinder up here, and we've got two lines going out, and usually there's an ABS unit in the way, and then somewhere over here is the proportioning valve. Yeah. And so the ABS unit will go 1, 2, 3, 4 after our two split from right here being front and rear, and we'll have left front, right rear, left rear, and then it'll go through the proportioning valve, or in this case this actually might be up here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most likely it's up here. But in this case, since we're deleting this whole entire, oh god.
It's late in the day, boys.
Yeah, it's a late day. Since we're deleting this right here, oh, that made that dirty. It's gonna go front rear. I think with the Chase base kit, it goes into the proportioning valve.
Yes.
And then from here,
comes with two new lines for the fronts.
Yeah, and you'll see it on the next video, right?
Yep.
And then from the proportioning valve, it'll go from your front right, front left, right rear, rear left, and it'll just pretty much tee off.
Yeah.
And this you can change it to a 60%, 40% front and rear brake bias, depending on how your driving is, downforce, weight distribution, blah 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 blah. But that's all tracking it and getting the data, messing around with it, and see which lap times are faster but safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't want our wheels to lock up.
Lock up and then.
So what we're trying to do today is actually kind of remove the ABS unit and just kind of show you guys about that and kind of test the Flowtech headers before we ceramic coat those. So I want to make sure everything's fully functioning before we put in the new because that way I know if I could return this or not return this. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. So pull that out, remove the harness.
Yeah, so pull up and then straight back out. Move that out of the way. And then were there any bolts that you removed beforehand?
Yeah, there were like 3 bolts. Pretty much it was a bracket, but I kind of took my reciprocating saw, kind of just chopped them.
Just a little zip.
Yeah, there's a 10 mil in the back where the reservoir is, straight down. I was in the previous video that I showed you guys where I'm mocking up the truck manifolds.
And then now we're just gonna use a 7/16 brake line flare wrench, and we're gonna break them all loose.
There shouldn't be any brake fluid in this.
And there's some right there. Yeah. But it doesn't matter now. Okay, that one's gonna suck. You know what's an easier way to do this?
No.
Let me see that reciprocating, so I'm gonna just slice it off. It's not like we need any of this.
You sure?
Just kidding. I don't know.
Oh. I was like, I don't know.
It'd be good for content. It'd be good for content. Guys, I messed up, slipped my finger.
Okay, there's one bolt from the top where the reservoir is. It goes straight down here. It's a 10mm bolt. Just use a long socket and adapter and extension to actually remove it. So once we remove that, the module is actually will move freely. And then there's like a little bracket that's holding it into place that connects to the ABS unit. I just chopped it off. Didn't really need it because I was trying to move it, but it was kind of getting in the way. So, but now we're actually removing the ABS lines. And as many of you guys are gonna say, oh, why didn't you guys do this before putting the motor in? Well, we didn't know. Along with, I don't want to pull it back out. I really don't.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I told you so, but I told you so.
But again, everything is accessible within the engine bay, which is perfect.
Yeah, because like, you know, there would be something else over here and I'd just be
so
this
everything is removed. We have to use a ladder, jump in
here, maybe flip the trailer over.
Yeah.
You having fun there?
Oh, it sucks. Why did they engineer it like this? Doesn't make sense.
No. They German. They don't do anything wrong. They're German. Germans never do anything wrong. Because they do anything wrong, they get shot at dawn. Allegedly.
Oh my goodness. We're almost there. We're just taking out the last brake line. And again, I wish there's a tool to remove these a lot faster.
There is.
What's the tool?
It's just a flare wrench, but it ratchets.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
I have ratcheting wrenches. I know there was ratcheting flares.
Oh yeah, but guys, by the way, there was.
So
that was 7/16. That was 7/16. That was 7/16.
So these are 12s.
That was 7/16. That was 7/16. But that back one in the corner right over there, that one was 12 mil. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, because sometimes they just want to hit you with the loophole. Be like, here you go, surprise. Oh,
you're gonna have to mute that.
Yep. All right. So far we use a 7/16 wrench to actually remove all these brake lines. There are a couple more to go. You are gonna see a lot of brake fluid just come out, so that'll be fine. All right. So we got the last ones removed. I think. Yeah, there we go. And now you're gonna see a bunch of brake fluid. Now just pretty much just
sneak it out.
Just pull the baby out.
There you go.
It doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. Oh,
sneak it out. There you go.
There we go. Boom. ABS is officially out. Just so you guys know, these two are the in from the actual master cylinder, and these two is what's going out. So these would be the front, and these would be the rear. So pretty much that's the setup. So pretty much what we're gonna be doing is we're removing this entire mechanism and doing an ABS delete. Cause now look at the amount of room we have. We have a lot of room.
Huh, enough room to check out our Flowtech header.
Yeah, so let's check that out really quick because that's kind of the main reason why we're doing this. To get this going. Because we got ceramic coat those.
Header.
Yeah.
Header.
Well, so since we're doing this guy will be over here. Going this way. Header. Look at this.
Header.
Dude, just look at this beautiful header.
Wait. You gotta do the Moog test. You suck.
How do you do this?
It's not intercooled. Oh, okay. All right. So is that for this side?
Yeah, it's for this side. All right, baby. Let's see. Oh. And we got room. We got
just enough that heat shield probably needs to be knocked back a little bit.
Yeah, it just needs to be knocked.
Right here.
Yeah.
And some of these lines just need to be kind of really tucked away and or
But I mean, like, even if you think about it, so with this new line I have, so these would be the new ones that are gonna get chopped. So these are gonna get chopped from the bottom. So these won't even be coming up. You know? Plus this is kind of out of the way. So these are not gonna be coming up. And then plus we have the new ones that are gonna go for the rear, which are a little bit more flexible, and we can actually play with those. So we actually have a lot more room now. But as you're saying, the little plate in the back, we just need to notch that a little bit more for the headers to fit. But to be honest, dude, we're golden. We're golden, baby.
Woo!